Yeah, I think this spot here counts as north still, not west. Now, there, it does look like there's a little channel right here, but I don't know if it's actually navigable. And then, of course, there's going past the bazaar, but I don't know if that's possible or how you do it. And then I'm pretty sure this counts as going south, but I'm not 100% certain. Because if that's the only way to get south, then we need a living ship, and that's a problem. We'll figure it out. Or die. You know, we've managed to not die yet. This honestly might be the longest running captain I've ever had. Okay. Tears. Your cheeks are wet. You think for a moment that it's sweat, but then the sorrow hits you like a falling stalactite. You are weeping. You double over, inconsolable. What is this? Why this sorrow? The ebb tide. You dig your nails into the palms of your hands, pacing the ship. The sorrow retreats like mist to the borders of your thought. You master yourself, but the taste of salt remains. Okay, so it was part of salt's attention. Okay, so if we wanted to inspire Wanderlust to possibly feed tomb colonists to spiders, we have to give up a lot of stories. So, you know, among the many concerns of doing that, no. The Carmine Chapel. A little chapel stands alone. You poke your head through the door. The walls are a deep red, just this side of scarlet. A ruby-tinted window in the back glows with steady light. An electric lamp behind the glass? Rare and expensive, but this is no gaslight. No one is here, and yet you have the sensation that only a moment ago, someone must have been. Make an offering with half-familiar rites. Moving as if asleep, you place a candle at each corner of the altar. When the rites are done, you clean the chapel carefully, for the next to pass this way. Peace lies on your mind like a sheen of oil. You stow your supplies in the hold of the ship. There are no witnesses. I was kind of hoping that maybe we could get Zissou at the Vengeance of Jonah. Because it does kind of look like they use the same image for their shop that Zissou uses for its little item icon. I didn't see anything there for it. Okay, yeah, there's that little river. There's no way we're fitting up that even in the tiny boat. So that's not happening. So it's either going past Fallen London or maybe the Dawn Machine counts as going west instead of south. Speak of hideaway, there's little need to exaggerate. Urban adventures. You speak of the city on the back of a beast. It is difficult to find, for it roams throughout the Untersea, above the waves and below. It scorched its belly on Mount Palmerston and snapped the top from Macy's Shaft. It blocked the harbor at Adams Way and gave birth to the Grand Geode. Why, last you heard, it was making for London. Trinkets. Just trinkets. Still a firmly sealed crate of what are absolutely not sorrow spider eggs. Well, that's a relief. Maybe you just got lucky? Either way, they made it, so did you. What was the address on the crate? Somerset College? On second thoughts, it hardly matters. Honestly, at this point, we probably could stand to do the A Visit from Mr. Sachs quest, because we know where pretty much everything is. Oh, a tattooed courier will pay well for a consignment of Scintillac. Here you go, buddy. That's one of them. It makes admirable jewelry, she explains, but exceptional tea. Two of the market's horse mask attendants help her wheel the box away. Yep, we're going to construct the Serene Aquarium, because trying to hold on to the live specimen for too long sometimes goes badly. Hey, 7 mirrors, it'll get it out of patheticness, hopefully. It's going to be, I think, all of our secrets. Mysterious motions. Watch this ichthid enigma traverse the tank. Its motions are subtle and elegant. They induce tranquility. Perhaps, too, they reveal divinatory truths. Okay, so at this point we just need a Whispering Trophy case, which needs 7 strange catches. Maybe we'll have them eventually, or we'll eventually just get fed up and buy them. Buy what little fuel we can still jam into the hold, and we're going to risk completing this. A visit from Mr. Sachs. Midnight. A presence dominates your lodgings. Its fur-trimmed robe is red of blood on snow. Over your chair hangs a familiar brown sack, bulging with offerings. Londoners give generously to the crimson beast of winter, anything to be rid of it. The figure stares into the fireplace, smelling of soft musk and harsh ammonia. I require a sturdy vessel and a captain. Yours comes recommended. You will suffice. An ancient contract, words not to be spoken lightly. You may wish to wait until you have explored the main trading ports around London before doing this. It's basically the game warning you of, hey, if you don't know where stuff is and you can't get where he wants you to go in a very timely manner, this can kill you. A deal is struck. The beast withdraws its hand from the fireplace, examining it. Packed lacquer, neath snow. It disappears back into the incarnadine robe. 3 deliveries by your release. Do not tarry. You have much to lose. The creature calls for you. It is time to begin. A hunger that can never be satiated. Mr. Sachs is waiting, clutching what looks like a bag of lamb. The meat is rotten. The bone is well chewed. A fool sought a name that devours. It devoured him. A lifetime's wealth, wasted on cravings that can never be satiated. When all was eaten, he stripped the meat from his fingers in search of solace. Still the hunger gnawed and screamed in his belly. He thought this pitiful offering of poison might free him. Debts are not so easily paid. Deliver this to Khan's Heart or Pigmote Isle. I think Pigmote Isle would be just a little closer. Delivery for Mr. Sachs. This is far enough from London. It will suffice. A hunger that can never be satiated. Pigmote's stored food diminishes quickly. Hungry rats and cavies stare at each other, a new glint passing from eye to eye as the cravings and stomach pangs spread. They stop to watch you in silence as you go past, mouths salivating. In the middle of the small town, a few of the hungriest begin digging a well. Oddly enough, that didn't seem to actually affect any of their statistics, like civilization, spirit, etc. Oh, okay. The aide hurries to you in the depths of the chicken woods, where the woods are particularly dark and foreboding. It wrings its paws. Careless advisor, we had hoped never to ask for this. We swore to stand on our own paws, but our supplies are running short. We desperately need your help and your discretion. How much? All right. Figure that makes sense after what I just did to them. A prize that became a curse. Mr. Sachs produces a jeweled bird. The thief thought it would bring her riches. Perhaps it would. But when the gracious widow and the cheery man both covet what you stole, mere money ceases to be of concern. To offend one or make an enemy of the other, she sought a third way, a moment of inspiration that came too late. We want no part in this feud. Settle it. Take us to the smugglers of the Isle of Cats to favor the widow, or the cheery man's agent on Mutton Island. Well, we're going to go for Mutton Island because it is closer than the Isle of Cats. That's pretty much the entirety of my thinking here. Is what is closest. We can stop at Demew Island on the way. Yeah, just in case it is screwed up by the fact that everyone there is gone, because I don't know if it affects it or not. We're gonna go for the Isle of Cats. It's very tempting to try to go to Nook to drop off that letter, but that's a little too far the way. I'm really just trying to get the spots that are absolutely positively on the way, or enemies that run into me. Like, I see that boat over there. Trust me, would love to take that thing out and then go to Nook, but No, not while we're doing this. Yep, here's the first one. The Crimson Beast of Winter towers above you on the snow-drowned street, its sack open wide to receive your offering. I will take all you can give. I will take everything you have. I will take more. So it forces us to give its regards first, because that's the one freebie, that this is your warning of, like, hey, you actually need to be hurrying. So, yeah, wealth, then stats, crew, and then death. Mr. Sachs, take my best regards. An old Londoner's trick. It can work. Once. A loss averted. Mr. Sachs is silent for a moment. May you experience all the generosity that you deserve, it intones, stepping into the darkness and taking the light and all memory of light with it. You wake up in a cold sweat, fumbling to light the lantern beside your bed. Just a nightmare, but one that leaves a sick sense of something barely averted. Oh, we can also help maybe search for her mother while we're here. She comes here, I know. She's always been fond of cats. Well, my father was something of a cat, and a very noble one at that. No luck. But, oh dear me, do you know someone picked my pocket? She chuckles happily. I never noticed a thing. Fingers like spider hatchlings. She rolls the coin between her fingers, so I tracked him down and congratulated him, and bought him a drink. And one thing led to another. Now he's asleep upstairs at the Rose and Tiger, and I'm down here with his purse. Would you like some money? It's so much fun, money. You begin to realize how drunk she must be. Anyway, no luck, but we'll find her. I can find anyone. She tries, and fails, to snap her fingers. The Pirate King will have contacts with the gracious widow. Caught in the middle, King Leopold examines the small jeweled bird with care and a measure of delight. I do not want to know how you came by this. Should anyone ask, you did not. We shall return it to the owner, yes. Such a fine craftsmanship. A true one-of-a-kind creation. He cradles it for a moment, and snaps off the head. Deliver this to the widow, he orders, throwing it to his least fortunate smuggler. We have unfavorable deals to renegotiate. And we have a firkin of red honey that we can do whatever the hell we want with. A life that was never lived. Mr. Sachs is staring at a small wooden box as you enter the hold. Inside, wrapped in a few pitiful scraps of velvet, is a lock of blonde hair and a set of teeth, carefully polished, barely used. The winter was harsh, the fire went cold. Later, the mother wished to forget. A convenient tragedy. Avid Horizon. Might at least be able to stop at Gator's Moor and Station 3, Abbey Rock, Shepherd Isles. That's not too much of a swing out of the way, and it at least lets us do something as we move through all this. Unfortunately, I think getting to the Melting Isles would be a bit of a stretch. Knock, knock. A crewman steps into your cabin. His uniform is one of your issue, though the face rings no bells. They do blend together after a while. This, however, does not look like a chap who swabs decks or loads cannons. Begging your pardon, Captain, permit me to introduce myself. Gervais, at your service, at least while the poor fellow tied up behind the galley remains regrettably indisposed. Might I trouble you a brief moment of your time before you escort me to the brig? He is at least honest about his dishonesty. A message from London. My gracious employer has grave concerns about the guest down in your hold, Captain, and the course to which you are now committed. Blood will spill before this voyage is over, but it needn't be yours. Gervais produces a small vial, crystal. The blood is red, redder than normal blood, almost glowing with vitality. Here is a more bitter vintage. When the time comes, I urge you to choose wisely. A favor from on high is rarely a poor investment. Really? 88%. Yeah, great. Now we really can't risk the crew because I need to be able to go hire one in London now because we're going to be moving at half goddamn speed at the worst possible time. Yeah, London's really the closest solution we have. Suppose we could do Demuth Island, but... to go to Avid Horizon, we're going to figure out what we're doing there. And then we are going to go to Mount Palmerston, probably to get fuel. And then we're going to go to Khan's Heart to pick up the contraband for the bruiser. Service at Avid Horizon. As soon as you dock, Mr. Sachs lumbers ashore. It has been preparing for this. Plunging a hand into its cloak, it removes a handful of ammonia-scented snow. It places it on the ground and adds another on top. Into this one, it presses the teeth and the hair from the small box. Potential. Substance. Only one thing needs to be added. As in the tales of the Gnomon, the crimson beast of winter waits impatiently for you to provide it. Yeah, I'm not feeling overly kind to this thing right now, so we're going to substitute the blood. The corrupted essence of life. You move to cut your hand with your pocket knife, but the vial clutched in your palm keeps the blade safely away from your flesh. You tip it carefully, dripping a few drops of the thick blood into the pile. They fizz in the lacquer, which softens and melts into the puddle of snow. A hand emerges from it, then a head, then another hand, stretching as it clambers up from nowhere. The twisted face of a gargoyle, rippled with red blood. It screams. The monster throws its head back. Blood wells in its hollow eyes and drips down its half-formed face. The nascent arms explode into wings of shining ice, as sharp as any razor. It bends backwards, new hands clawing at its eyes. Just as abruptly as the scream began, it stops. The shape collapses, melts. Mr. Sachs looks away. Another failure, it intones, stepping through the pile on its way to the Avid Horizon's sealed gates. It rests a gloved hand against it, basking in the chill. The whisper of a place too cold for gods. Refreshing. Your service is done. Be gone before I change my mind.